FNAF as a whole revolves around souls trapped inside animatronics. Whether it be their true soul or their intense agony, possession is the main core element that this series needs to keep its story going. Well, that and the continuous slaughter of innocents who just wanted some more pizza or their dead dog. So in honor of those victims, we take a look at some who didn't follow their bodies to the grave, and that's what we're exploring today. Greetings gamers and welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm Connor Monroe and this is the top 10 souls trapped in FNAF Animatronics. As a ginger, trust me, this was a list meant for me. I am a master on souls. I've taken enough that it doesn't even look like I'm ginger anymore. You should have seen me 10 years ago. Oh boy, let's do it. In the 10, Susie. Yes, putting Susie first was intentional, and yes, it was because she was the first and has seen everything. Susie was William Afton's first victim. At least, we think she is, if we are indeed correct about her being the soul that possesses Chica based on the gravestone ending from FNAF 6 and the head placements from FNAF 3's good ending. However, we do know that as Golden Spring Bonnie, Afton lured Susie to the back room with promises of her dog, who had recently died as we learned from the Fruity Maze minigame, the FNAF novels, and the Ultimate Custom Night High School scenes, which also included Toy Chica, so we're pretty certain about the whole head placement and gravestone thing. After being lured away, she was promptly killed and stuffed into the Chica animatronic, which she would then possess after the puppet gives gifts and gives life, allowing their agony to take control of the animatronics. And at 9, Jeremy. Jeremy is probably the biggest troll name in Scott's arsenal, being used for at least 3 separate characters in the series: Jeremy the missing child, Jeremy Fitzgerald the night guard from FNAF 2 that gets promoted to day shift, and the Jeremy that tested FNAF VR before Tape Girl that was driven insane by Glitch Trap. However, the missing child version of Jeremy, presumably the first Jeremy chronologically speaking, goes on to possess the Bonnie animatronic. This is an interesting detail because Withered Bonnie first makes their appearance in FNAF 2, and this would be the version that was possessed by Jeremy, because the older models were then retired, then became withered, but also terrorizes the new Night Guard Jeremy. Withered Bonnie, however, is also missing his face, which also ties him to FNAF VR's Jeremy, who cuts his own face off using a paper guillotine after Glitch Trap drives him insane. I don't know if it was totally intentional, but knowing Scott, it definitely wasn't a mistake. And at 9, Fritz. Fritz is also one of the original 5 missing children, with Fritz going on to possess the Foxy animatronic, which is already ironic given that both their names start with an F and are shorter than the other names, but not much else is known about Fritz. There used to be a theory that Fritz was a good guy who wanted to help the player in the first FNAF game, thanks to Foxy's not-in-your-face jump scare. However, that was disproven in Ultimate Custom Night during an April Fool's update, where Foxy's mechanics were changed to instead block one of the doors. This was proven to be a joke since the other mechanics had a phone guy and Springtrap connected, referencing the phone guy's purple guy theory, as well as Nightmare Freddy causing you to wake up from your nightmare, alluding to dream theory, both of which are also wrong. And at 7, Gabriel. Gabriel is probably the most popular soul out of the original 5. Well, not in a community sense, since we all know the other names way more, with Susie being the first, Jeremy being used countless times, and Fritz being a fan favorite. Rather, he's the most popular in an in-universe sense, since Gabriel goes on to possess Freddy, the mascot of the company. The man who has more variants than Loki, with like over 20 different versions or something like that thanks to FNAF AR Special Delivery. Anyway, like Fritz, there isn't much we really know about Gabriel, aside from maybe some novel counterparts, since the only real potential description from the novels could also be talking about Jeremy, and is just based on Crying Child as we see him in FNAF 4's minigames. I actually want to count out the different versions of Freddy just so you know, okay? So let's do it together, shall we? We have Freddy, Golden Freddy, Fredbear, Nightmare, Nightmare Fredbear, Nightmare Freddy, Toy Freddy, Withered Freddy, Funtime Freddy, Glamrock Freddy, Helpy, Yendo, Shadow Freddy, Rockstar Freddy, Nedbear, Twisted Freddy, Molten Freddy, and Lefty. That's 18 without counting the various special delivery skins, which adds another 7, including Frostbear, Shamrock Freddy, Black Ice Frostbear, Aeronaut Toy Freddy, Woodland Toy Freddy, Firework Freddy, and VR Toy Freddy. Fun. And at 6, Jake. Jake is a character who first appeared in the Fazbear Frights epilogues as a ghost inside the Stitch Wraith. He has a frail and bony body and grayish skin. He has sunken cloudy green eyes and has a bald head due to the treatment for his brain tumor. He also has dark circles around his cheekbones. Before the brain tumor, he had a round freckled face with bright green eyes, a big smile, and tangles of brown curls usually falling under his eyes. Kinda like me in elementary school. Jake is a very nice kid and grateful to the people who help him, despite the situation he's in. He likes to make friends and is patient with others. However, Jake will resort to violence to protect those he cares about. Which I mean, like, I feel is kind of understandable, like in the right circumstances though. Like, obviously not if they're not in any actual physical danger. But I mean, like, when given the power you have in the Stitch Wraith, and the inability to be prosecuted for your actions, I guess the agony kind of like takes over and lets you just pile drive that 12-year-old that keeps calling you names into the concrete. Halfway through, and at number 5, Andrew. Andrew is another character who first appeared in the Fazbear Frights books, but wasn't named until he was the second ghost inside the Stitch Wraith. He's the main antagonist of The Man in Room 1280, the third story in the 5th Fazbear Frights book, Bunny Call. He is a young boy with curly black hair and rosy cheeks. He wears a cheap alligator mask that covers his face, and in The Man in Room 1280, he is described to have a devilish grin. After William's explosion at the end of The Man in Room 1280, Andrew goes on to possess the Stitch Wraith alongside Jake. This possession is where the idea that multiple souls can share a vessel came from, and is the start of the belief that Golden Freddy shares 2 souls. In it for the fun times. The Funtime Animatronics are an interesting group that I decided to put together on this list, mostly because they are grouped together in the games as well, and by that I do mean soul-wise. As revealed in the FNAF novels, the Funtime Animatronics were made with, or at least enhanced with, the metal endoskeletons of the original 5 animatronics: Freddy, Bonnie, Foxy, Chica, and Golden Freddy. These endoskeletons were also melted down all at once, meaning all their metal was combined, like how the guy on TikTok combines various different drinks and then just chugs it. The only issue with this was that these endoskeletons were all infused with the agony in the souls of the missing children, which stayed infused while being melted down, since they were melted, not burned. This resulted in the creation of remnant that was incredibly, well, unstable. But not in the typical sense like how uranium is unstable, but rather combining all that agony created one hell of a monstrosity and battle of anger, especially while these parts were separated. Hence why they had to recombine in sister location to become Ennard, and why they kicked Baby out. She didn't have one of the missing children, she had another soul, so they didn't really need her to be whole. And that's pretty horrifying when you think about it like that. And at 3, Charlotte. Ah yes, Charlotte. While not the first victim like we first thought, Charlotte is definitely the catalyst that kicked off everything we know about this series. While William did the killing, Charlotte did the animating. Yes, the agony suffered by the missing kids allowed their suits to be possessed, but Charlotte as the puppet was the one who first tapped into this power, allowing her to share it with the others. As we see in the Give Gifts, Give Life minigame from FNAF 2. That one is actually from FNAF 2, not like my theory video. Charlotte, while alive, was Henry's daughter, Henry being William's business partner and co-owner of Freddy Fazbear's. After multiple instances of missing children at the restaurant, Henry installed a security puppet that was set to focus on a green bracelet using special code that he gave to his daughter. However, this did little good when the puppet was trapped inside its box and Charlotte was stuck outside in the rain. That's when William struck, leaving her dead body in the alley. Yet somehow the puppet got to her, allowing them to become one, and keeping part of her alive. At least in a sense, for a while she tried to help her father put an end to William's schemes, hence why we can see the puppet in FNAF 3. Either that, or because Henry lured her there to try to set her free. Eventually, she makes it to the FNAF 6 simulated pizzeria, being captured by Lefty and brought to the alley behind the pizzeria, where she finally is released after some kind and loving words from her father. It's kinda weird, seeing how much Henry loves his daughter kinda makes me want a kid, but like, that kid is also dead in the game, so it doesn't make me want a kid. It's conflicting. In it too, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, the first of the Afton kids to meet a grisly fate. After being warned by her father to stay away from Circus Baby, Elizabeth didn't listen. Typical kids. On the first day of Circus Baby's Pizza World, Elizabeth finds herself alone with Baby and ends up getting a little more than a scoop of ice cream, getting scooped by Baby and instantly crushed, resulting in the pizzeria being closed down on day 1 due to gas leaks and Circus Baby getting possessed, indicated by her eyes changing from blue to green. However, that's not where this story ends. In fact, it only just begins. Because in the FNAF novels, it's revealed that Charlie, Henry's daughter from the books, is a robot that thought she was human. In fact, it's the oldest of 4 robotic versions Henry built when she died at the age of 3. Why am I bringing up Charlie, you ask? Well, because as it turns out, in the books, the adult robot Charlie is also the Circus Baby animatronic, who can change appearance at will using small pins covering her body. So, this character is simultaneously Charlie, Circus Baby, and Elizabeth Afton. all at once, which is absolutely insane and certainly deserving of the number 2 spot. I mean, it should be number 1, but you'd get mad if number 1 wasn't. And at number 1, Cassidy. Cassidy, the final of the missing children, the one who got stuffed into Golden Freddy. This character is, at least based on my previous theory, the only soul possessing Golden Freddy. Click up in the top right corner to check that out. Cassidy is described in the novels as a young girl with long black hair, which is also the description of the only human to appear in the logbook, drawn fully in color and not by Mike. The name Cassidy was coincidentally discovered through this book as well, when a Reddit theorist going by username DPowerful1 took wrong numbers from various pages, 5 and 2, 3 and 9, 1 and 5, 7 and 2, 9 and 3, 10 and 11, and 8 and 11, and put those in a word search, as in essence coordinates, to find the letters C, A, S, S, I, D, and Y, which has got to be the most difficult name reveal in the history of name reveals, Scott. Like, this is how people end up burning down forests while trying to find out the biological sex of their baby. Like, this is the kind of thing that people start wars over. If Donald Trump had been a FNAF fan, this would have caused World War III, I'm telling you. There we have it, friends, the top 10 souls trapped in FNAF Animatronics. And while yes, these characters aren't really possessing the animatronics with their souls, rather their intense agony, it's still the FNAF universe's form of possession, and it could just be that their agony is their soul in this universe, so let's chill on the correcting me in the comments, even though I'm sure multiple people clicked on this video just to comment that. So if you've watched the whole thing and are now realizing you commented too early, delete that comment and save yourself the embarrassment. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video. Actually, no, I have a joke where I'm going to Montreal. I'm going to Montreal at the end of next month, and I'm going to go up to random people and try to buy their soul.
Are you actually going to Montreal?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm gonna actually, like, try to buy people's souls too. Like, I'm gonna be chilling in a bar, be like, oi.
You going to Montreal for that reason, or other reasons?
No, I'm going with friends. But I'm just gonna fuck around. How'd you like to be famous? And I have to do it in an accent. Okay.